5 video series. Planning. Now, planning is a very strange, difficult, and an interesting topic of PMP. 70% of the total material is basically in planning, whereas the questions that will come in planning does not have the same percentage. The questions are will come nearly 50 questions of the PMP exam will come from planning. So you need to master this not just for the those 50 questions, 40, 50 questions that we will get because the material is 70%. All the tools and techniques will be here. So 4 to 5 important things that will happen in planning. First of all, project management plan will be created. What is a project management plan? It's a mother of all plans. It has all the plans inside it. Inside project management plan, there are 3 to 4 important things. The first thing is 3 baselines. When you combine these 3 baselines, you get the fourth baseline, which is also known as performance measurement baseline, but generally 3 baseline: scope baseline, schedule baseline, cost baseline. You combine these 3 baselines, you get performance measurement baselines. Then, what is are basically these baseline? Scope baseline tells you what you need to do. What you need to do. Schedule baseline tells you how much time you have to do that. Cost baseline tells you how much money you have to do that. Then the fourth important thing is that which team, which resource you needed to complete that task. For example, let me say if you want to make a house, what is the scope of house? Will it be 200 square feet? Will it be 1000 square feet? How many rooms will be there? This is a scope. How much time you have to complete each activity? This is schedule. How much money you needed? This is cost. Now, which resources you needed? That is resource management plan. Then which thing can stop us from making this house? What are the risks? Now, risk can be positive or negative, but generally, when we heard the word risk, our mind says, "Oh, risk it has to be negative," but it is also positive in PMP. So start thinking about the opportunity. Maybe the price of the cement can go down. Maybe the price of the bricks can go down. So you need to see what are the opportunities available. So you make a risk plan for complete. These 5 things are the key in planning. These 5 things are the most important key in planning that you need to do in order to clear the exam. So let's just phrase it in the under the lights of exam content outline. So when you enter into the planning, what 2 things you have in your hand? First thing is that you have project charter along with the assumption log. The second thing is stakeholder register. These are the basically 3 documents you have when you enter into the planning. What do? You have a meeting with the stakeholders to review the charter, to review the detailed requirement of the project. Initially in project charter, we have highlighted the high level requirement, high level constraint, high level assumption. Here we sit together with the stakeholder, start reviewing the lesson learned registered, start gathering the requirement, detailed requirement in order to establish detailed deliverables. Project charter has high level deliverable. Here we will have detailed deliverable, each thing in detail, what we are going to make, what we are not going to. Then all these things will be written in project scope statement, which will go into scope baseline, which basically is a part of scope management plan. If I would say scope management plan and requirement management plan, basically in short, these things how requirements are collected and how scope is managed. Then once the scope management plan is made, we build basically schedule management plan to have deliverable time attached to it to see when we need a specific milestone, what is the scope of those milestones, what are the resources we required in order to complete these things in a timely manner. Once we have scope overhand, when we have schedule at our hand, we go to the cost. We see what is the scope of this thing, how much time we have, which resources we required, what is the approved charter, and what are the estimation techniques we can utilize, and basically we make scope baseline in cost area. Then once that is done, We go to the fourth most important area, resource management, or as exam content outline also says that human resource management. This is very important. Most of the author says that human resource is outdated, but still in this exam content outline, we see the word of human resource management. So by human resource management or resource management, to define roles and responsibility of all team members. We see what are the types of resources, how you estimate it, all the guidance, all the theories will be given here. Then come the most important thing. You identify the communication requirement, right format, written, verbal, right information, who is authorized to give the information, who is not authorized, how to communicate, which medium to communicate, what are the requirement of stakeholders, organizational structure, and the important thing, flow of information. All these things are written in communication management plan. Once communication management plan is done according to the requirement of stakeholders, which are defined in stakeholder engagement plan, stakeholder management plan, by analyzing the needs of the stakeholder, their interest, their impact, and to see how we can effectively build a strategy that can change their current state to our desired state, so that stakeholder expectations can help us in engaging in the product deliverables. Once that is done, we go with the quality management plan. We define what are the quality standards of the projects, what are the standards that we have agreed with the customer based on the project scope and risk that can be posed. In order to prevent the defects, reworks, we need to eliminate that. Then we make a procurement plan in order to understanding the scope, schedule, cost. Sometimes we can make a thing, but it is time effective and cost effective that we procure things. So we write down everything in procurement management plan. We write make or buy decision there, source selection things like there. Then we make a risk management plan. We get a risk register here in which we identify the risk, in which we make the plans qualitative, quantitative, both positive and negative risk. Everything is written there, the positive strategies and negative strategies. Once that is done, then we make a change management plan. Change management plan is very important because it defines how changes will be addressed, and how we are going to control these changes, and how we are going to track these changes. Once all these plans are made, we combine them and make a comprehensive project management plan. We present it to relevant stakeholders and we get it approved. Project management plan, including with all their plans and all the baselines, is approved by stakeholders according to the policies and procedures of the organization. Once plan is done, we are done with the planning. Now we are ready for kickoff meeting. Very important thing. Kick-off meeting happen before execution and after at the end of the planning. We conduct kick-off meeting. We communicate to all the important stakeholders that we are going to start the projects. We communicate key deliverables and other information so that we can get buy-in, we can engage other stakeholders, and we can have their commitment. These are the important things that you need to understand and remember for your PMP exam, especially regarding to this topic, the planning topic. Once again, I will just summarize what are the most important thing. Three baselines are made: scope, schedule, cost, and we make resource resource management plan. What are the resource we need to complete the task? And the last and most important thing is we make a risk register to see what can hinder our progress. And of course, we communicate the quality requirements, the procurement requirements through communication management plan, and we manage the stakeholder. If you can manage what I've just said, the planning area will be cleared. And if you can manage planning area, you can clear your exam. And this was the last video of the series of exam content outline. Master this exam content outline and PMP certification is yours. Thank you very much.